Science can never be divorced from a sense of social justice. If we all keep that sense of social justice, but also social cohesion, I think that is where science will have its greatest impact.
One new role that you've taken on recently is as a key advisor to the Tsinghua Vanke School of Public Health. How are you using your experience to shape the understanding, the learning, and the futures of potentially thousands of students of public health to come?
This is a very, very exciting initiative at Tsinghua University, and it's a pleasure to link up again with Dr. Margaret Chan. It's an old friend from many years ago. What will public health look like? Not tomorrow, not next year, but what will public health look like 20 years from now? And the students and the faculty of Tsinghua School of Public Health are going to be that in 20 to 30 years' time. So what is it that they will need to be equipped with in order to address the challenges of 2040 rather than the challenges of 2020? And I think that is a new approach to public health. It is to see public health in the context of the 21st century. Our interconnectedness, urbanization, animal-human interfaces, how the health systems work. I think an appreciation and knowledge of economics is going to be crucial. I think the future of public health is a very exciting one. I think there are many public health schools around the world that are perhaps still looking backwards to the public health of the 20th century. And the Tsinghua School has got an opportunity here to look forward to what the future will be rather than the past. And I wish I was a student again, actually, because I think it's a very, very exciting time to be going into public health.
During your time in Vietnam, you made an important contribution in identifying the return of H5N1. With all the outbreaks that you've worked with since that time, what do you think has been the central experience that you take away with you and then give to us?
Never underestimate for the people in the eye of the storm how frightening it is. This was true in SARS, it was true of bird flu, it was certainly true of Ebola, and it's certainly been true of this pandemic. And that is when you're in the middle of it, as a family, as a patient, as a nurse or a doctor, it's frightening. Then your professionalism then needs to take over, and you need to have the ability, I think, to be in the moment and deal with the issue in front of you and think calmer and strategically. Science is always a route out of it. Science provides the exit from these horrible events. We must never forget it, and the science that has been invested for many years before a crisis. And the last thing I'd say is these crises go very quickly. They move very quickly, they're very dynamic. Never wait until you've got all of the information. If you have to have all the information, you'll be too slow. Dealing with uncertainty, dealing with the knowledge that you've got to make decisions, even though it may make you uncomfortable, and you may not have all of the information you'd love to have, but you have to act.
Science and health are now more than ever understood in terms of humanity and social justice. As a global figure, but also as a father, what would you ask us to keep in mind?
Science can never be divorced from a sense of social justice. If we all keep that sense of social justice, but also social cohesion at the forefront of what we do, I think that is where science will have its greatest impact. And it does go back to when setting up a new school of public health. Exposure to that sort of thinking is so part of a curriculum and so part of the future of public health. It is the public's health, not what we just want to do in our own right.
From the Well is a new series with global leaders, brought to you by the China Current and Tsinghua Vanke School of Public Health.